Welcome to another edition of the Be Civil podcast. My name is Matt Southerland. I'm your host. This is my friend Noah Matz.
Hey guys.
So Noah and I, this is part 2 of a previous episode. It's going into where Noah was sharing with us
Past life regression, QHHT session, basically experiencing my higher self.
Through hypnotism.
Yes. Got a lot of things that came up, so I'd love to share them with you guys.
So I just want to say thank you, Noah, again for sharing this. I know this could be like super vulnerable, super personal, and I appreciate you stepping out of your comfort zone, or I don't know, might be in your comfort zone. You're so like, you are like one of my most, I feel like, enlightened, like, you're a very enlightened soul, I will say that.
Thank you.
One of the people in my life that I could say, you know, I feel like I could talk about a lot of stuff that people would say is like weird or like, you know, out there. And I feel like with you and I, that's like plain talk. So please share your experience with, you know, before you're saying that you were going to the hypnotism to get a deeper sense of self, to connect with your higher self.
Yeah.
So please share what happened in that hypnotism session.
Well, I met Sophia. She was the practitioner. She was the hypnotist. Sophia had great energy, like very strong energy. She was a level 2 Reiki. She is a level 2 Reiki healer. She's always felt energy very strongly. She was very much like had a great therapist type energy about her. I provided her a series of questions. She went over the questions, wrote them down, and we kind of had a nice chat for like an hour beforehand. Kind of went through my history and my past, and she got me comfortable, and she started to, you know, when the hypnotism started, she started like, you know, slowly talking to me, and got me comfortable, and I closed my eyes, and, you know, slowly but surely you get into that like pre-sleep or upon waking trance-like state, where your mental visions kind of get more vivid, and it's kind of like a dream-like state. But I was still very conscious. Like, I was still conscious. My normal waking consciousness was there, but some visions came up. Had a past life that I saw. I'm sure it was one of many, but I was in Germany, kind of observing some things about society there.
Do you remember some of the things?
Yeah, seemed like it was like 1920s, 1930s.
Was that in the World War I era?
Yeah, it was around that time. I think it was one. So that was kind of interesting, but I think the main thing that was interesting for me is I got to meet a portion of my higher self. And for me, this was a being that is, at this time when I had the vision, it's a being stationed outside of a planet, channeling large amounts of source energy directly to the planet to benefit the inhabitants, the planet, to raise their energy levels. Just a director of energy, and I felt this energy, and it was like I was in the body of this higher self. Very, very intense energy. Sophia said it was some of the most serious and powerful energy she's ever felt.
Wow.
I'm already quite meditational, very still mind. so she was excited to share with me. But yeah, so I kind of figured something along those lines. I mean, I wasn't really shocked by this information, and she asked me a series of questions that I asked to find out about, like if I'm living my highest purpose in my current career, and asked about relationships and things of that nature. So it was enlightening. There's a feeling that I'm going to go into a different career that's going to be more like to assist people, maybe like a therapist, meditational kind of metaphysical role of some kind, which I would greatly like to do. I think the doors will open when the time is right. I just want to live out my highest purpose because it's important to me to do good here while I'm on the planet. And it does get tiresome being in a job that doesn't necessarily aid the populace or the community.
Can you tell everyone what you do?
I've been a sales manager for a long time at a major dealership.
Car dealership.
Car dealership. So sold a lot of cars, met a lot of great people. I've shared really good conversations and energy with a lot of good people, and just anchored a lot of positive energy in an area that's like right in the middle of Tampa. So it's been good, but I think I'm at a point where I'm transitioning into something else into my life. So I'm happy about that, and I just wanted a little more insight. Possible relationship shifts in my life happening. So it was really cool. I would highly recommend it to everyone. Most people don't really see therapists in their life, and I think therapy on its own is great, and then having an opportunity to speak to your higher self is very important.
Can you get a bit more into detail about the process of the hypnotism? Like, was it like in my mind when I think of a hypnotism, I think of also something else you said. You just said therapy. So this is a hypnotherapist. This is someone that is.
I wouldn't say she's a therapist. I would say that the benefit of the session is that it's therapeutic.
Okay.
You definitely have to have a quiet mind and no preconceptions going into this.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely nice to connect with a deeper part of myself. And then afterwards, for several hours, you're going to need to ground afterwards because a lot higher level of energy is going to enter your body. You're not typically in those brainwave states in that level of trance, directly trying to connect to a deeper, greater portion of yourself. I had the other buddy that did this QHHT session. He said it was amazing, and he found out a lot of information about himself. And I had another friend ask me about it yesterday, and he asked for the SOFIA's contact info. So if you need any recommendations, I'd love to refer you to her or anybody else. Dolores Cannon, who created it, she's all over YouTube. She helped thousands of people. She has many practitioners that she trained, and you can watch things. You can watch sessions even. Dolores, out of these sessions, and all of her practitioners come to find that there's a shift in consciousness coming on the planet, a heightening of consciousness, and that's something that keeps coming up in these sessions. all around the world. So I was interested to see if I could get any insight on that as well. And from my session, it seems like over the next year and a half, 2 years, major consciousness shifts are going to be happening on the planet. And what that means is truth and higher level ideas is spreading rapidly on the planet. People's need and want to get more spiritual, to delve into themselves, to find out who they are, find out the truth of what life is. The energetic vibration of the planet and human beings on the planet is rising, so it's causing people to go down the path of finding their own true self. And so the people that have already kind of went down this path and prepped themselves and have found out kind of who and what they are, and have been doing yoga and have been meditating and have been eating healthy, and have figured out that you don't have to be full of diseases and unease and depression. The people who have already figured these things out, their guidance will be quite valuable as we get into the major energy shifts. People start waking up rather quickly. A lot of great new ideas will happen, a lot of shifts in society, I think, as well. Our society will operate in a different way. So I'm very excited. Very excited.
I have that same vision as we spoke earlier. I believe that in the future, I think in the very near future too.
Yeah, I feel like there's some of the people that I know that are already awakened to their spiritual selves and feel energy quite strongly. There's been a sense of the last several years, but it gets more and more intense each year, and even this last year and even the last few months, the energy is shifting quite quickly. There's a lightening of the energy. The energy is softer, more delicate. Hateful energy is diminishing. It's a lovely thing.
Hateful energy doesn't have any power anyway. We give it power.
Yeah, anger is lessening.
Yeah, we give it power. It has no power.
Yeah,
and that's why when they say, you're wasting your energy, when you're when you have a hateful, or what's the word for it? Like a tit for tat mentality, you're wasting your energy. It should be about pardon and forgiveness.
Yeah.
And
you gotta know when to disengage. The only reason you would continue to argue is if you're super wrapped up in your ego and you have a need to be right. But
exactly,
the ego is just a tool. It's an assistant. You're spirit first. Your energy first. So people are going to learn to deal with their own minds. Most people are wrapped up in entertaining every single thought that comes up, and they believe that everything is every thought's legitimate and real. You don't have to believe every thought. You don't have to entertain every thought, and that'll allow you to get to peace and quiet. You'll be a lot happier and more peaceful. So we're moving in a very good direction, for sure.
I believe that, brother. I see that. I see in the future that we're going to, people that are connected to higher form of consciousness, higher form of source. People that are connected to source.
Very strongly, a very strong connection to source.
Yeah,
we've went for a very long time with a weakened connection to our own creator.
Yeah.
It's probably by design. I think we're in a spiritual war on this planet, and the end of our so-called imprisonment on a planet that has a very weak connection to source is ending. We're about to move out of it, and it's going to be a rapid shift. So if you haven't already, it's a great time to start looking within your own self, your own heart, quiet your mind, and see what comes up.
For sure. I feel like the world I see in the future, those of us that are connected to source, that is going to be the most valuable asset as we get closer and deeper into technology. It's only growing. AI. I believe that we all need to connect with our inner self to even be able to keep up with life.
Yeah.
As you were saying before, it's so important to stop and be still.
Yeah.
If you don't stop and be still, then you're not gonna really, you can't connect with yourself and know really what's going on inside of you if you don't stop and be still.
Yeah.
And listen and look at the thoughts that are in your mind. You have to know what's there. You have to be aware of what's going on. So that being still is such an essential part of life. And more as we move forward into the future, because technology is only getting more more powerful, more with AI growing and on the brink of gotcha, brother, on the brink of really having a strong role in day-to-day life and being a part of life, that being a part of our society. I feel like we need to take it upon ourselves to have that deep connection, so that we can flow with this growing technology, this rapid pace of life. It's only going to get faster. You look at social media right now. You look at, say, Instagram Reels, TikTok. YouTube has shorts now, YouTube Shorts. So everyone's attention span is shorter. Everyone wants a lot of information, or essential information in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to flow with this fast pace. The only way to do that, we can't keep going and not expect to hit a wall. We have to slow down so that we can even keep up with that. And then the benefit of that is when you do slow down, when you're still, you can feel yourself. You can feel your higher source connection, the inner you.
Yeah, definitely have to take breaks from information. I mean, we're all subjected to an information overload at this point. So you do have to take breaks from social media and news and your phone even, and connect with reality, connect with yourself. It can be hard, but you'll be so much happier when you break the addiction to your phone and information streams and scrolling through social media. You're just feeding upon dopamine hits, and it's an addiction. So don't let your technology, don't let it be an addiction. Don't let it be a drug to you. Just use it as a tool when necessary, and you'll be a lot happier.
Right. And I also believe, I used to believe that social media or technology is, you know, a negative thing. Like, you know, because I did have an addiction to social media, to where like I felt like I always had to say post my meal or me doing something. Yeah, like I mean, I feel like those things, like, yeah, let's do them in fun, let's do them, but not every moment of life I feel like needs to be shared, because you need to live life out as well. You need to be in that moment. So I think there's a fine art of having harmony with technology, because it can be very useful. Look, like what we're doing right now, to be able to share this positive information with people all over the world, and to be able to, you know, to do that type of thing is just, it's such a gift and such a blessing.
If you just find yourself mindlessly scrolling, just disconnect.
Exactly.
And if you're consuming like good information for like 20 minutes and you're like super like into it,
yes,
and it's beneficial, yeah, keep doing your thing. But
exactly. I think it's the mind, like you said, the mindless scrolling.
Yeah,
that gets
you know
us
when you're
trouble.
doing it too. You're just like, you keep going. And you're like, all right, I gotta put this down. It happens to everybody.
You know what? That is a good place to be. But sometimes, I think the dangerous place to be is when you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I think that's where a lot of people are, and that's scary territory. I used to be in that place where I'd wake up and I'd be on my phone for the first, say, 30 minutes or hour. And then when I finally, the thing that snapped me out of it was when I learned to be still. I went to Thailand. I took a trip to Thailand and was there for 2 weeks. Within that time, I learned how to meditate. When I came back, I started doing that every morning. And that, 10 minutes, say even, 5 minutes, just being still for the first part of your morning.
Yeah.
Oh, it does such an amazing thing.
Difference.
It's gonna break that type of addiction. So, yeah. Noah, thank you, brother, once again.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for sharing that experience. I'm also going to put the links of Dolores Cannon. I'm going to put Dolores Cannon links. I need to check them out myself. She sounds super interesting.
Yeah, she's written many books. Very interesting human being. I think you guys will like it.
You also mentioned your the hypnotist that you went to see.
Yes. I can send you a link for her.
I'll put her link in there as well. I know you mentioned that, if anyone's interested.
She's great. She's got great energy. Everybody will like her. She's amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for watching. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Please subscribe. I really appreciate those that have subscribed. And also just want to remind everyone to be civil, be a positive light in the world, spark an enlightening or positive conversation. Let's start putting out some, I was reading something, it was a book by Jay Shetty. It's called Think Like a Monk. I was reading where it said to have positive gossip. Let's start having positive gossip about each other instead of the negative gossip. Let's start saying, oh, I know this person is doing this and that. I heard this person is doing that and that. It's positive. It's impacting life. Let's start putting that type of energy out there.
Yes.
And always remember to be civil. Thank you.